Hi everybody, this is Will Bowen with today's JumpStart. Today I want to talk with you about checking out your fantasy before you make it a reality. I was reading somewhere the other day about a person who was talking about her goal was to live on a boat full time. And I did some research, actually thought about it, and if you look behind me, there's a number of boats here in the bay. These people live here full time. I see them here all the time. They've got little boats on the back that they go out and take to the mainland to get their groceries. They go over here to the Caribbean Club to have a drink. And so this person said, my goal is I want to live on a boat full time. And like I said, I had actually thought about doing that. But then I did some research. And someone said, there's two problems with living on a boat full time. Number one, they're small, they're cramped. And number two, they tend to smell. And that has been my experience when I go into boats. Unless you do a lot to really try and contain that, there tends to be a musky kind of a odor inside of boats where people live full time. And some of these back here actually paddleboarded out to that one over there. I paddleboarded all the way out there. And the funny thing is, when you get closer, it looks very exotic, but that person, their boat is like Fred Sanford's boat. There's all this junk all over it, everything like that. So my encouragement would be to go and rent a boat and live on it for a while to make sure that's exactly what you want to do. So often we romanticize what it is we think we want to do. Oh, this would be so great. This is what I'm going to do. And then maybe we get some money and we go and do it. And then we're like, what in the world was I thinking? Before I came down here to live in Key Largo, I wanted to make sure that this was actually the place I wanted to live. Seems very romantic, diving capital of the world. I love to scuba dive. And yet I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a romantic fantasy. So I came down here and rented a place and stayed for a week. And then I left for a month, came back, rented a place and stayed for another week. And during that week's time, I had written out everything I was looking for in a town. In other words, this is an island. I wanted to make sure that it still had a really good movie theater and a really good dry cleaners and all of these things. So I made this long list of everything I was looking for in a place to live that would facilitate my being happy and enjoying my life. And Key Largo definitely fit the bill. So before you go and make a big jump, before you quit your job and start trying to make cookies for a living or something like that, do some research. I have a very good friend who owns Grey Ghost Bakery, which is one of the most popular cookie manufacturers or cookie bakers in the country. And she actually had cookie recipes that she had inherited from her aunt and was doing very, very successful with them. She was selling cookies. People were asking her to bake cookies for conferences and things like that. And she saw an opportunity to get into the cookie business full time. But what she did was she shut her business down for 9 months and studied the cookie industry, such that when she came back, she was ready to rock and roll, and that's why she's so successful. Look for Grey Ghost cookies wherever you shop. They're in public stores and Nordstrom's all over the country. That's my friend Catherine. And she did that simply because she didn't follow a romantic idea. She sat down and she put a little bit of practicality to it. So balance your romance with practical, certainly when it comes to your life and your life choices. Enjoy today, and we'll talk tomorrow. Be sure and post your questions and comments. Bye-bye.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more complaining people. Their lives are changing.